Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Young here, and today back in our Fortnite video. In today's video, I want to share with you guys the best binds to use for those guys who play with non-paddle and non-claw. Just because I know that's a huge percentage of you guys who are probably looking for some new binds to try out, and I know most of you guys do play with like regular controller, you know, non-paddle, non-claw. So I want to share with you guys some very good binds to try out. So if you guys are looking for some very good binds to use, definitely stay to the end of the video because these are the very best binds to try out if you guys are looking to play with non-paddle and non-claw just for some new binds. And real quick, before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. I give away 2,000 V-Bucks every single Friday. So if you guys want to take part in this giveaway and win some free V-Bucks, all you guys have to do is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys do turn on post notifications so you guys get notified for every single new video and when I announce the winners. And lastly, leave a comment down below of either your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account, and you guys will be automatically entered into the next giveaway. And lastly, make sure you guys do support me in the item shop. All you guys have to do is go down to the bottom right, click on support a creator, type in creator code YoungHumor, and you guys will have me added and supported as a creator in the item shop. And alright guys, let's go to the video. Alright, so in this video, I want to give you guys the best binds to use for those of you players who play on non-paddle and non-claw. And I also want to give you guys some very good tips and tricks you guys can use to really optimize all of your binds and at the same time optimize the movement that you have. Because there's a few important things that you guys want to do when you play on non-paddle and non-claw. Just because when you play with, say, on claw, you have a lot more options as far as buttons you can press. Because you want to be able to press the most important buttons without having to take your fingers off of the analog sticks, because when you take your fingers off of the analog sticks, it messes up your movement. So you always want to make sure you can do as many important things as possible without having to take your fingers off of the analog sticks. So here are the binds that you guys want to use that I think are the very best in the game if you guys are looking to have the best binds possible for non-paddle and non-claw. So going into my binds for my combat controls, I just have my inventory, my place marker is just left on the D-pad, my map button is right on the D-pad, and then the emote is going to be on the bottom of the D-pad. So nothing really too important there, just kind of all the basics. And then I have my left stick, I have that as the edit button. I think having left stick as an edit button is one of those things that no matter what binds you have, if you play a non-paddle, non-claw, I think it's one of those things you have to have left stick as edit, because you're constantly editing in game and you have to have a function in which you can edit and also at the same time being able to have very good movement as well. So that's why I have left stick as edit, and I think you guys should as well. And so going to the right side, I have switch mode as my Y button, I have my reload as X, I have my toggle pickaxe as B, I have jump as A, and then crouch is going to be right stick. But one thing I want to talk about really quick, and I think is also extremely important as well, is I think these are really comfortable binds, but I think another really good change as well that you guys maybe want to consider is going to have the jump button on the right stick. I think that is a very good thing to do as well, because you're constantly jumping in this game, and I think it could be a very good advantage for you guys to have your jump button on the right stick instead of the A button. I think it comes down to personal preference. Some of you guys may just prefer the A because you're more comfortable with it. But all in all, when it comes to the combat controls, those are the only buttons that I haven't really decided which one is the best. I think it just comes down to which you're more comfortable with, which you think works best. Like I said, either you want to have the jump button on A or you want to have it on right stick, because if you have it on right stick, that can give you a lot of advantages with being able to jump without taking your finger off the right analog stick, which can actually improve your movement quite a bit. So that is something to just keep in mind and to consider when you are choosing the best binds to use. But as far as I tried out, these are some of the most comfortable binds to use, and I think they're really good, and I would recommend these combat controls. So going into the next set of binds, which are going to be the build controls, there's only like a couple things you want to do in here. There's only like 2 things that you really change in the build controls. So for the build controls, all you want to change is going to be the change trap / material, which is going to be on the left D-pad. And then the only other thing you change out of this whole list, everything else is going to be exactly the same. The only other thing that you guys should probably change is going to be the right stick, and that's how you place your traps, place / interact. And of course, there's no traps in the game anymore, it's just going to be launch pads. But pressing right stick to place your launch pads is super comfortable, it's super easy to do, and I think it's a really good idea to have it on the right stick. Now, if you guys choose to have it on a different button, because the only problem with this is sometimes that if you have your builds that you're not going to be able to crouch because that's how you place your launch pads. But at the same time, if you're getting shot up by a bunch of players and you need to place a launch pad really quickly, having it very accessible on the right stick I think could be a very good and it's just a very big advantage for you. So that's what I would recommend doing. And before, if you do have your jump button on the right stick, then of course you would have to have a different button for your trap places, which I would recommend to have it on something like the X button. I would recommend something like that as far as placing your traps, because you would have to change that up if you do have right stick as jump, which I think is a really good bind to have as well. So a really good tip that you guys can use that's going to help you be able to change your materials really quickly, or if you have any button on the D-pad you need to change. So you do notice that when you press something on the D-pad, you have to take your finger off the left analog stick, meaning that you're going to have to come to a full stop if you want to change your materials, or if you want to press anything on that left side. So what you want to do instead is you want to use your momentum to your advantage. So if you're ever having to press something on the D-pad, what you want to do is when you're pressing that on the D-pad, you want to make sure that you jump when you're pressing it. That way you can take your finger off the left analog stick and you're not going to be getting slowed down and you're not going to be coming to a complete stop, because all you're doing is while you're jumping, you're taking your finger off the left analog stick and then you're using that to change your materials. So that's a really good tip, and if you guys aren't currently using that, I think that's a very important thing, and also could be said with any other action as well. If you need to take your finger off one of the analog sticks, as long as you're jumping, you're not going to be losing any momentum, and that's something that you guys really want to take full advantage of and really use to the best of your ability. And so going into the edit controls, because these are important as well, I do have my reset button as left trigger, and then I have my confirm button as left stick. Now you can really play around with these quite a bit and see what works best, but I like this a ton because having the confirm as left stick, which is the same as the edit button, it's really easy to just click left stick, hit the left trigger, and then hit left stick again to, if you want to go for reset, that's what you would hit. And it's fine. I find it to be very easy and very convenient because you don't have to take your finger off any of the buttons, because your finger naturally is going to be resting on the left trigger, just because when you're just standing still, most of the time your fingers aren't going to be on the bumpers, they're going to be on the triggers. So it's really easy to go for a reset with these binds. That's why I like these quite a bit. But also you could try out different layouts as well, because there's a ton of different binds that you can use for your confirm settings. But all in all, I think these are very good. They're very comfortable. I feel like I'm able to edit very fast and very smooth. Of course, your sensitivity has a lot to do with how fast or smooth you'll be able to edit. But all in all, I think these are the very good binds when it comes to being able to build, when it comes to being able to reset, and also being able to just confirm all of your builds very quickly. It's fun. I find it to be very comfortable and also a very useful thing to do. Now, if you guys are looking to improve your edits and get better with editing, one of the biggest things that I always recommend, I think it's one of the best ways to improve your builds, edits, and everything in between, is going to be practicing high ground retakes. I think that is one of the best ways to improve your builds, because you're going to be constantly building and editing when you're doing different retakes. I've said that for a while, but I think that's a very good way to practice your builds and edits. So if you feel like you're not the best editor or builder and you are looking for a really good way to practice, I would definitely try to recommend learning new high ground retakes that incorporate a lot of building and editing and everything that you would need. And a really good way, you can definitely look up a lot of high ground retakes. I have a ton on my channel. All you have to do is just go to the search bar, type in Young Humor high ground retake, and I have a ton of videos for you guys to look at. But if you are looking to improve your edits and builds and really everything that you need, I definitely would recommend learning new high ground retakes that incorporate building and also editing as well. So these were the best binds that I think that you can have if you guys play with non-paddle and non-claw. I think these binds are really good. Like I said, the only thing that you can maybe change around is going to be the jump button. You can change it from A to maybe the right stick. I think that's going to be a very good jump button as well. But it all comes down to personal preference and what you think works best. And with that being said, that was wrapping up for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys found this video very helpful, make sure you guys do drop a like. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Make sure you guys do hit that notification bell so you guys get notified for every single new upload. And as well, I do live stream every single day here on this channel at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you guys do hit that notification bell so you guys will get notified when I go live here on this channel. I play solos every single day. It's a ton of fun. So definitely come on my live streams if you guys haven't already. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching the video, and alright guys, I will see you next video.